Mia Yim is pretty much my hero, and the Undisputed Era make their final statement before this Saturday. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your past Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your NXT review for May 29th, 2019, and you guys know the deal. House cleaning out of the way first. There's a lot of things coming up on this channel. Was supposed to happen yesterday, didn't happen because of timing issues, etc. Eventually, Guapo and I will be doing a recap of AEW's Double or Nothing. Pretty good show, not gonna lie. Got a few little things that are gonna not make me very popular, but that's okay, that is what it is. Apparently, Jon Moxley did an interview on some podcast somewhere. I'm sure it's not much of a big deal, but myself and Kristen are going to go over that at some point. I'm not going to lie. I haven't listened to it just yet. Guapo, Kristen, and I will be doing a preview, hopefully tomorrow. Fingers crossed. All schedules being equal, for TakeOver 25 this coming Saturday. You guys know the drill. We're not doing the pay-per-view pick'em anymore, etc. Next week, one or both of them will join me for the unenviable task of also doing a preview video for Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia there, and I'm sure that won't be met with any criticism at all. The Q&A is always a thing. Go up to the annotation up above. Put your questions down in the box below. If you want to be part of the next Q&A, you guys know that's coming sometime around SummerSlam. I don't know. Check out the other playlists up in the annotation. I thought I had more. I'm going over my notes, and that's basically a Double or Nothing, the Jon Moxley Jericho thing, TakeOver, Super Showdown. Plug the Q&A because that's what I do. Look at the other playlists up there for NXT, NXT UK, etc. This might be one of those weeks where NXT UK kind of gets bumped around a little. I'm going to let you guys know that right now. If I don't get it done tomorrow, I'll get it done sometime over the weekend. I'm not even sure what happened because I haven't watched it yet, but there's a lot of fun stuff coming up. We've got, you know, we had Double or Nothing last weekend. We've got the TakeOver 25 this Saturday. We've got the Saudi Arabia show, Like It or Lump It, the weekend after that. So a couple straight weekends in a row of great wrestling. And as you guys know, coming up in August, I've got a long weekend that consists of about 7 wrestling shows in 5 days because I'm just that crazy. So why don't we get into this show? Mia Yim versus the supposedly undefeated Bianca Belair. Been looking forward to this for 2 weeks because somebody sent me the spoiler, but you know what? It is what it is. Dropkick from Mia Yim. Belair fails an early roll, a face first slam by Yim, mounted punches by Belair. Mounted punches by Belair, you know the Austin thing, the Luthez press into the punches. I'm not just saying this because her character drives me nuts, because you guys know I do think she's good. The mounted punches looked really weak, I'm not going to lie. Yim chops out at the knee, hits her with a running high knee, then hits her with a corner cannonball a la Kevin Owens. And then Mia Yim, of all people, hits it with some say it loud, say it proud, I've got no voice tonight, but the Daniel Bryan silly kicks. Oh, yes, by Mia Yim. Full Nelson by Belair, arm drag by Yim. Tarantula by Yim, and some rolling pin attempts from both women. Yim reverses the double chicken wing forearm by Belair, tosses Belair out of the ring. Overhead belly-to-belly suplex by Yim and some rolling clotheslines. Code Red by Yim. Belair spears the post, fucking up her shoulder. Eat Defeat by Yim. Belair tries to leave. They brawl out on the floor for a little bit. Faceplant on the apron by Belair. Now, I will say, my criticisms of Belair aside, this was pretty cool because she gets her in the double chicken wing. Almost, if you can imagine, the Implant Buster. I mean, thinking about who else, you know, showed up at AEW, Implant Buster is a really fun thing to mention at this point in time, is it not? But basically, she did the Implant Buster, but she did it into the edge of the apron. So it's kind of like an Implant Buster curb stomp effect. It was good. I don't know what to call it. You guys know me. I'm shit with naming things and whatnot. Yim uses the goddamn ponytail to pull her in for a one-kneed code breaker. They called it something else. I don't remember. I think Mauro Ranallo, in his extreme Caucasianness, called it the protect ya neck, which I'm never going to say again because it sounds dumb coming out of my mouth. But the one-knee code breaker gets the win for Mia Yim, and I love it. It is deeply cathartic to me, considering how much I hate her gimmick and I hate the stupid hair whip thing, that she grabbed her by the hair to pull her into that finishing maneuver. That was fucking wonderful. Belair has now been defeated twice. Are they still going to push the whole, like, delusional undefeated thing? Hopefully not. Hopefully they'll fix her gimmick. Why are we ringing? Why is this a thing? Sorry about that, guys. Sort of an anticlimactic way to end the conversation about the Mia Yim Bianca Belair match. But as I said, as I was about to say, I really hope they fix the Bianca Belair character, because it's really annoying, and I don't see how anybody gets anything out of it. I don't know why I'm thinking of a word. I don't know how anybody gets anything out of it. And the hair whip thing is really, really stupid. The hair whip thing is as dumb. It's on par with back in the day, Nation of Domination, D'Lo Brown, when he like fractured his sternum or whatever, and for the next like 2 years he fought all his matches with like a really, really comical protective vest on, and it became a weapon even though it's padding. It's on par with that, how dumb it is. And it's really, really unfortunate that they saddle a stupid gimmick like that with somebody who, as I've said, and I will keep saying, is a tremendous athlete in Bianca Belair, and a great wrestler, to be fair. Like, you see her gorilla pressing people around the goddamn ring with relative ease. So, it's not like she's not in shape. It's not like she's a great athlete. It's not like when she forgets about the stupid hair gimmick, she's a great wrestler. So just let her do that. Mia Yim has to be the next one in contention for the NXT Women's Championship. I don't know how the Shirai Baszler thing is going to go on Saturday. I was about to say Sunday, because that's usually when pay-per-views are, except not for the past 2 weeks. I don't know how the Shirai Baszler thing is going to go. I mean, Shirai Yim could be fun, but Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler, attitude-wise, could be a lot more fun. Mia Yim's, the more I watch her, the more she's got a lot of Lita in her, which is never going to be a bad thing if you guys have been paying attention to me at all. We get a video package for Dream vs. Breeze. It's great. WWE is great with video packages. Moving on, Baszler is asked in the back by some sort of talking head with a microphone, what do you think about Shirai at TakeOver? You know, she attacked you with a kendo stick last week. And the line from Baszler is absolutely brilliant. Well, on Saturday she can't use weapons, and she's all out of friends. Her and her friends leave. Mic drop. Great. Wonderful. I so love the Baszler character, because I didn't like her when she started, and she was kind of flat, and she was just there, and the way she's gone from that to this awesome bully character with her little minions behind her is fucking fantastic. What else is fantastic? Kushida versus Drew Gulak, and if this match doesn't solidify to all you guys that Gulak does not belong on 205 Live. He belongs in NXT. I wouldn't mind him going over to NXT UK to have some technical matches with those guys over there. But he belongs in NXT. NXT 205 Live, those guys have got to know that nobody's watching. And I say that with all due respect, because there's some great wrestlers over there. But nobody's watching it. And Gulak, you can see when he's at the NXT arena, he's got a different kind of fan base, first of all, because he's not just performing, rather, in front of really tired SmackDown fans. He's there for an audience that's really, really up for it, and really, really good, like, hardcore wrestling fans, and it shows in the way that he wrestles. So I hope he just gets, I never thought I would say this in a million years. Go back to my 205 Live reviews, even go back to the Cruiserweight Classic. I didn't much rate the guy until the last time he showed up on NXT and randomly challenged Matt Riddle to that amazing match that had Match of the Year potential. And the same thing here, Kushida versus Drew Gulak. Now, Kushida is the brand spanking new guy, and obviously I didn't go into this thinking that he was going to win. Gulak is almost a really, really technical wrestler equivalent of a Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler doing what he's doing right now, that's not any kind of bad thing, is it? So let's stop rambling about the match and talk about the actual match. Collar and elbow tie-up and some chain wrestling to start. Kushida works the arm, Gulak works the wrist, and there's a trip by Kushida. Kulak. That's a key lock by Gulak, because words are hard. Kushida reverses and escapes out of the key lock. Test of strength, single leg crab by Gulak, and a triangle choke by Kushida. Pending reversal sequence to follow, a crossface by Kushida, a side headlock by Kushida, and an octopus stretch. Indian deathlock by Gulak, followed by a slam and a trip by Kushida. Kushida hangs the arm over the ropes. It was like a hangman, but not with the neck, with the arm. It was good. We've worked on the arm a lot in the match. That's great. If we're going to finally break away from the trading of submissions and hit one offensive maneuver, why not do more to the arm? Why the hell not? Gutbuster by Gulak and a hip toss into an armbar by Kushida. He basically gets him, hip tosses him over, but holds on and locks his arm down into that armbar, which is really, really good. Ankle lock by Gulak, Insiguri by Kushida. Gulak blocks the hoverboard lock and smacks him in the face with a forearm. Now, forearm. Simple thing, right? Simple thing. Never really gonna say that a forearm is the turning point of a match, except for the way that this match has been so fluid, so mat based, so submission based. You know, this hold going to that hold, going to this hold, going to this submission to this reversal, etc. To just get one stiff shot in, change the temperature of the match for just a second, which is good. Kushida tries for something and then catches Gulak. I don't know what the something is. That's why I sort of stumble on that. But he basically hits the mic check. If you remember Ken Kennedy in the mic check, he hits the mic check and then he gets him. I don't know how to describe this pin, because he basically puts him in a camel clutch situation, pops his head down, rolls forward, and that's the pin that gets the win for Kushida. At first, I thought it was a really anticlimactic way to end the match. At second glance, where this match was sort of like the chess game type of match, it's just like, well, this is my one move that got you, checkmate. And I liked it. I liked it on the second viewing, if that makes sense. They go face to face after the match. Gulak's calling him a coward, even though all he did was pin him and win the match. But if that's what's going to get us a rematch, can we please have a rematch? This was fucking great. Candice LeRae interrupts an interview with Io Shirai in the back, says, thanks for saving me last week with the whole kendo stick. Bit says, I would love to be in your corner on Sunday. Io Shirai says, thank you. So Shayna Baszler is going to have 2 in her corner, whereas Io Shirai is going to have 1 in her corner. Now this makes sense because it's a one-on-one match. A babyface can have some help in their corner, but you still have to establish that the heel has the numbers advantage. Let me repeat that for you. For those of you that think Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania made sense, it didn't. Why did Kofi Kingston, who's the babyface, need the numbers advantage? He had 2 people helping him. Daniel Bryan only had 1, and that 1 is Rowan. So let's be real for a second. This makes sense. You've got a little bit of help for Io Shirai so that she's not totally alone. Candice LeRae takes the place of the kendo stick, I suppose, as weird as that sounds. I really wish Candice LeRae had a match. That would be great. Throw Candice LeRae and I mean, I know they don't do a pre-show for the NXT shows because they have to tape the next week's episode of NXT, but throw Candice LeRae in there. Have somebody come back. I mean, I know Ruby Riott is injured right now, which is unfortunate. Get well to her. But bring somebody back for a night. Like have a Nikki Cross or somebody like that come back. Can you imagine Nikki Cross versus Candice LeRae on the kickoff? That'll just get you in the mood for the rest of the show. I know they don't want to add extra matches to the card because their whole thing is their matches, or their cards rather, are nice and concise, and they have that like 5 or 6 match pattern to them, and they don't want to fuck with that. I get that. Develop a pre-show. That's all I have to say. Candice LeRae being corner person for somebody else's title match is a little... Especially when her husband is in the main event, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. We see a video package for Cole Gargano 2. It's great. WWE does great video packages. And we move on. And then we get the main event, and I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get how you have 2 amazing matches on this show, on this episode, and this is NXT where all the good wrestling happens, where there's not very many mistakes, but I will point it out when they're there. I don't get why this was the main event, other than the scene that happened after, but you could still do this way differently. Belair versus Mia Yim could have been cool. I mean, there's the total illusion that Belair was still undefeated, even though she wasn't, so you want to have Mia Yim have that cool moment. You want to push Kushida because he's brand new and have this amazing technical wrestling classic with Drew Gulak. Put that in the main event. No problem. Why do I want Lorcan and Burch versus the Forgotten Sons in the main event? I want the Forgotten Sons to get better. I want them to make me care. Lorcan and Burch are a team that I like. But this is not 2/3, because there's 4 teams. This is 1/2 of one of the mid-card matches for the pay-per-view. Why could you not do something different? This is a very... match-wise, I mean, story-wise, it's great. Story-wise, you got the cliffhanger going into Saturday that we're going to talk about in a second that I love. Don't get me wrong, and that part of it does not escape me. But match-wise, this is not the main event, is it? It's really, really not. Blake and Burch start the match because it's the Forgotten Sons versus Lorcan and Burch, if I haven't mentioned that already. Blake and Burch start the match. Dropkick by Burch and a deep armbar. Back elbow by Cutler. Mudhole stomp and a double backbreaker by Lorcan, or by Cutler and Blake. Boot by Blake. Chops for everybody by Lorcan. A distraction by Riker, who immediately gets ejected. This is great. This is fucking fantastic. Let the people who are actually in the match tell the story. Riker gets ejected. He's going back up the ramp. He doesn't make it up the ramp. The Street Profits beat the fuck out of him. And then they're in the ring, they're fucking with everybody, and the match gets thrown out. It's fantastic. They take out the rest of the Forgotten Sons, and then they have a stare down with Lorcan and Birch. They're both baby faces, but it's still a pretty tense stare down. They go at it, and then up on the ramp, Jackson Riker, who's just not having a good night, he gets beat down by Cole and Strong, which is interesting because they are part of the Undisputed Era. They're not the part of the Undisputed Era that are going to be in that ladder match. So all the attention is on them, while Fish and O'Reilly come from the back of the ring. Cole and Strong come down to the ring. They clear the ring, and all the tag teams sort of disintegrate into dust. But what do? They want a 4-on-1 advantage. They got Riker, who's dead to rights, on the rampway. The four of them grab a ladder from under the ring. The four of them javelin this ladder through Riker's chest and midsection and just lay him out again. And then they pose on the ladder to end the show. Adam Cole sends a quick message out to Gargano and Riddle. This is what's going to happen on Saturday. It's all undisputed. And it goes off the air once again with the Undisputed Era standing tall, looking great going into Saturday. Now, Saturday is fucking great. It really is. It's a cool chance for them because it's not a takeover just because there's another pay-per-view the next night. This is their weekend. Much like last weekend was AEW's weekend. This weekend is NXT's weekend. Next weekend from Saudi Arabia is WWE's weekend. But look at the shit we've got on this card. We got Dream versus Breeze. We've got Baszler versus Shirai with the added element of Candice LeRae. And then we've got the Undisputed Era matches. We've got the Undisputed Era, the team of Fish and O'Reilly taking on Lorcan and Birch, taking on the Forgotten Sons, there we go, taking on the Street Profits in that ladder match, which I'm sure will steal the show. You've got Riddle versus Strong, which will be great. It doesn't need a title. And then we've got the sequel to Cole and Gargano from New York. This is going to be a great show on Saturday. I'm very excited. I really, really hope everybody's schedules work out and I get to get the proper preview video out to you guys sometime tomorrow night or Friday night. Pending Guapo and Kristen and my schedules all aligning, as we all know that they love to do. There's a lot of other stuff coming up on this channel. I'm going to reiterate it one more time just because there's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Double or Nothing. We're going to talk about the Jericho podcast with John Moxley at some point. We're going to talk about TakeOver. We're going to talk about Super Showdown. Q&A is coming up. You can check out the other stuff, and I'm just getting repetitive at this point because I'm kind of tired, kind of losing my voice, and I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.
You're a freak like me.